My name is Pamela and I am 25 years old. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone, which sounds comforting at first until you realize it also means rumors travel faster than truth. In a place like that, once something is said about you, it never really goes away. The trouble in my life started the day my parents decided I needed to be taught a lesson. I still remember the exact words that later haunted every corner of my existence. My parents told every employer in town that I was a thief. Because of that lie, I could not get hired for 2 full years. My father said, "Maybe now you will learn to respect us." At the time, I did not realize those words would become a curse stamped onto my name and reputation. It all began with a simple argument, one of many disagreements we had over the years. I was working part-time at a grocery store while saving money to move out and start my own independent life. One evening, my mother accused me of taking money from her purse. I had not taken anything. I tried to explain myself and begged her to listen, but my father had already decided that I was lying. He said that if I thought I was so grown up, then I could face the world on my own. The next week, I was fired from my job. The manager would not even look me in the eye when he told me. Later, a friend quietly whispered that my parents had come into the store and warned him that I was not trustworthy. That was only the beginning. Every job application after that ended the same way. I would receive friendly smiles and promising interviews, followed by silence or polite rejection emails that felt copied and pasted. One interviewer accidentally let the truth slip when he said they had heard some concerning things about my honesty. My stomach dropped in that moment. I confronted my parents, shaking with fear and anger. My father did not deny what he had done. He crossed his arms and said it was for my own good. He said the humiliation would make me obedient. Then he repeated the sentence slowly, like he wanted it burned into me forever. "Maybe now you will learn to respect us." 2 years passed like that. 2 years of watching my savings disappear. 2 years of lying awake at night calculating how long I could survive on instant noodles. Friends stopped calling because I never had money to go out. Some of them believed the rumors too. In a small town, once the word thief follows you, it becomes your shadow. I started questioning myself and wondering if I really was the problem and if I somehow deserved this punishment. The only person who never treated me differently was my grandmother. She had raised me for long stretches when my parents were too busy. She always told me that truth has a long memory even when people pretend to forget it. Before she passed away, my grandmother squeezed my hand and told me that no matter what people said about me, I should always remember who I was. At the time, I did not understand how literal those words would become. By the time I turned 25, I was exhausted and emotionally hollow. Then, just last week, something finally changed. After countless rejections, I received a call for a job interview at a mid-sized logistics company just outside town. I almost did not go because experience had taught me not to hope. Still, I ironed my only decent blazer and practiced answers in the mirror, telling myself it was just another attempt. The interview started normally. The human resources manager asked routine questions, nodded, and took notes. I felt the familiar tension building while waiting for the moment my parents' poison would surface again. Then the door opened and a man in his early 50s walked in. The room shifted instantly. The HR manager stood up and introduced him as the CEO. My heart pounded. He looked at me for a long moment, not with judgment, but with recognition. Then he said something I never expected. "Before we start, I need to give you this. Your grandmother left it with strict instructions." He reached into his briefcase and pulled out a thick yellowed envelope. My hands trembled as he placed it on the table. The envelope was sealed and dated 15 years ago in my grandmother's careful handwriting. The room felt unreal as memories and accusations collided in my chest. I did not open it right away. I realized that whatever my grandmother had planned, it had been waiting patiently while my parents tried to destroy me. For the first time in years, I felt certainty instead of fear. When I finally opened the envelope, inside were documents and a handwritten letter. My grandmother had written that she had foreseen this exact moment. She knew my parents' nature and their desire for control. She feared they would try to destroy me socially and financially, so she prepared. There were notarized statements, recorded conversations, and sworn affidavits from neighbors, former employers, and even a distant cousin. Every document confirmed the same truth. My parents had deliberately spread lies about me. The CEO explained that my grandmother had been one of the earliest investors in the company and had left these documents with strict instructions to intervene if my reputation was ever questioned. He told me they verified everything. There were also bank statements showing she had secretly set aside a trust in my name. She wrote that it was not revenge, but protection. The company offered me the job because I deserved a clean start. After I was hired, the truth spread quickly. Legal notices were sent out correcting the lies. My parents were confronted with recordings of their own words. Their credibility collapsed. They tried to contact me, but I did not respond. I already had proof, dignity, and a future. Now, when I walk through town, people look at me differently. My parents thought they were writing my ending. They did not know my grandmother had already written a better one.